Hey, today, this dynamic pack show is going to talk about 7 ways, 7 tips to help you with your diabetes. And at the end, we're going to tell you how that diabetes affects us in ways that we don't really know. Again, thank you for coming to the Chef Timothy Moore Show. Diabetic Reversal, one-on-one, understanding the basic truths, the simple things about diabetes that, guess what? They don't want you to know. And you wonder why. They don't want you to know the things that could change your world today about diabetes. Diabetes is affecting 100 million individuals today. And guess what? You're probably one of those. Or if you're not, your children is, or somebody you know or acquainted with. Do me a favor. Go to ChefTimothyMoore.com. Sign up for some of the free recipes. But pass this to your friends right now. Pass it to someone you love, care about, or someone you're thinking about that might be or dealing with diabetes or could prevent diabetes. Because at the Chef Timothy Moore Show, we keep it real, but it's Diabetic Reversal Show. That's what we're going to start calling it, Diabetic Reversal Show, because we're going to come at you in ways and help you, give you some tips that can help you reverse your diabetes, help you overcome it. Now, we're dealing with type 2 diabetes. Now, type 1, it can be reversed, but there's a little more complications to it. But the thing about it is, we're dealing with autoimmune diseases, diabetes. Diabetes is so rampant. I can remember, again, myself when I was a full-blood diabetic and I couldn't do a lot of the things I wanted to do, and it just shut me down. I don't know about you. It shut me down where I couldn't really have a good life. Things I wanted to do, things I wanted to go see with people and share with people, I couldn't do. But what about you? How do we change some things you're doing today? What about a life that you want to change? What do you want to feel good about? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you sick and tired of not having quality time with your children or grandchildren, friends, or just doing things you want to do? Well, today we're going to talk about some things that's going to really make you understand how simple reversing diabetes is. Because of the Chef Show, we talk about simple stuff. And I remember those days like it was yesterday, go and get some chicken and some jalapeno peppers and some biscuits and some soda, and not thinking anything would ever affect me. I was bulletproof, 25 years old, like some of you guys. I was young, running around thinking it was not going to be an issue. But one thing I had to understand when I got my diagnosis and understood I could reverse it and how I started making the changes in life was, what do I do? Number one thing that was, as I say always, it's a mindset. We got to change the way we think about diabetes. We have to change how diabetes is affecting us, because if we don't make some changes, we're going to be in trouble. And guess what? It's not playing, because they predicted in the year 2030 that diabetes is going to be an epidemic. Now, I don't know about you. I don't even know if you've been watching the news, but in 2007, we spent over $145 billion a year on diabetic care. Do you know 1 in 5 of your dollars was going to a diabetic? But also, as of 2012 of April, or 2013 of April, check this out. We spent $245 billion. We went from, in 07 to 145. Now we're at 245 billion. I mean, this thing is getting bad, but how can we change it? What do you need to do about changing your diabetes today? Mindset, food set, lifestyle change is simple. We're going to keep it real today. We're going to keep this thing so real because with diabetes, how it affecting you is in ways that you don't even realize what's going on. I mean, it might not seem like a big issue right now, but it is, because what if your child walked into your bedroom or your living room or your office or wherever you work, or just in the car riding with them, and told you that, hey, I've got diabetes? What would you do? Or something's wrong and their doctor told you. We don't see it until we see the mirror. That mirror approach, how it approaches us, we see ourselves and our children, or just ourselves. Diabetes is the number one killer to me. It's not the number one as far as heart disease and cancer, but it's right there with them, because so many die every year from diabetes that should not die. Food, how do we change it? That is the most complicated question I get all the time. Hey, man, I want to change some things that I want to eat. What do I do? Well, I'm going to show you real simple how to change some things what you're eating and how to not let diabetes control your life anymore. Get you a pad, get your piece of paper. We're finna make some changes. We're finna throw some things out at you. There are some simple ways to reverse diabetes today, and we're gonna make it happen. Get your pen, get your paper. Here we go. It doesn't matter who it is that wants to enjoy some food that we know we should not eat. Learn how to say no. You don't have to say it in an offensive way. You don't have to make them feel bad. Just say, thank you, but no thank you. I'm either changing my lifestyle or I just don't want any. And you have to be careful with that, learn how to say no too, because sometimes you can say it and people think you're putting them down, but you're not. Because that gets us in trouble. And a lot of times we don't know how to really just say, I don't want any. And I always go to the statement and I tell people, I say, free is not free. Just because somebody offering you something free does not mean you need to take it. Sometimes it's all right just to say, no, thank you. Sometimes it's all right to not even acknowledge it because you know what you're trying to do. And if you start broadcasting that you're making a lifestyle change, it's really amazing. At the Chef Timothy Moore Show, the Diabetic Awareness Show, when we start talking about diabetes, it's amazing how everybody can come around and want to offer you stuff that you don't want to eat. You know, and you want it, but you've getting away from it. And the people just say, just try a little bit. You know what? Number one, learn how to say no. And just be nice with it because you know what? They're going to offer it to you. It's like going on a diet. Soon you tell somebody you're going on a diet, everybody got the best advice. Everybody got the best diet. Everybody got the best solution. Everybody wants you to try something. So sometimes when you're making a lifestyle change, it's good just to keep it to yourself or find you some people that are just like you. I don't mean as far as they're not negative because you're not negative, but just like you. What do you mean, Tim? Just like me. You know, somebody is trying to make a change in their life, just like you. Somebody's trying to do some things as far as walking and eating right and meditating and doing yoga, stuff, exercising. Sometimes you can find a partner by just going around and looking and observing, and they're just like you. So, number one again, learn how to just say what? Just say no. No, thank you. Whatever it could be, because we're going to make a lifestyle change today. That's the number one thing in deciding to change in diabetes. And you know what? We're coming to number two, the number one secret. Then the number two secret is on this diabetic thing. Get your pen. Here we go. Number two is finding someone like a coach, someone that can coach or guide you through this program. You know what? Let me explain that. Finding a coach or someone that can guide you can actually get you over the hump when you're trying to change diabetes or weight loss or careers or whatever it is. But let me explain, as a diabetic coach here, let me explain what we do. Finding somebody that we deal with people every day that their intentions are great. Your intentions are you went to the doctor told you to make some sensible changes as far as your lifestyle or your diet or what you're eating. Now, I don't know about you, but I remember when I got that diagnosed years ago and said, go find you a dietitian or somebody to understand diabetes. But if you look around now, you know, being real about it, most of the dietitians are just like me and you at one time. They are just as big or they're skinny or they have all kind of health problems too. And the ones I found had diabetes problems and they kept saying, hey, there's no way you can get rid of diabetes. You know what? That is not true. That is a lie. Listen, you can get rid of diabetes. You can make a change and you can cure your diabetes. Now, is it cured and gone forever? It's on your lifestyle change it is. Now, if you go back to habits of things that you know is going to cause problems, like anything else, if you go to eating crazy food, you're going to gain weight. But if you want a lifestyle change, are you tired of those insulin shots? Are you tired of taking all those different types of medicines that you are taking? Well, guess what? You can make some changes today. All that stuff can change and you can be a different person. But now a coach or somebody that's going through what you're going through that understands you. Now, let me explain that. Understands you. Your way and somebody else's way is not going to be the same. But somebody that looks at you and understands how you're trying to make those changes and live in a way that's going to benefit you. Now, if they don't understand exactly where you're going or you haven't explained to them where you're trying to get to, they don't understand. So you got to sit down and y'all got to talk it out. How do I make those changes? What do I need to do? That's why I saw a coach. That's why I like what I do. When we coach individuals like yourself or people, especially diabetics, and the first thing is, okay, where do I start? What do I eat? Where do I shop? How do I learn how to read the labels? How do I get my insulin levels to drop? Well, I was told I could eat this and I could eat that. Well, we start looking at food that you can incorporate that you're going to like. And the good thing about it is, a lot of the foods you think you can't eat, you still can. We're going to teach you how you can have them in a healthy way. Now, We're not going to count all these carbs and all this stuff like this exchanges and all that, because that only is going to frustrate you. We're not going to put you on a juice fast because that won't last. We're not going to put you on a grapefruit diet. That's not going to last. We're not going to put you on a calorie restriction. That's not going to last. But we're going to put you on some sensible meal plans that will last. That's why our coach helps you determine what you're trying to accomplish. Well, sometimes, coach, I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish. I was just told to go find somebody that can help me overcome my diabetes, or that can help me control it. Let me ask a question. Do you want it controlled, or do you want it reversed? Which one do you want? It's like a little air in a tire versus a full tire. I'd rather have a full tire. Well, you want your diabetes controlled, or you want it reversed? I want it reversed. How to reverse it? Simple things that we must do. And we're going to teach you how to reverse it, how to make some changes in just a second. Get your pen, because we're coming back with the question number 3 that I'm always asked: what do I eat? Man, I can't decide. I want this, I want that. What can I have? It seems like everything I look at, I want, but I'm told I can't have. That's always the number one question I get. Someone that's going through diabetes reversal course, or someone's trying to get their life together. The diabetic retreats that we teach and we work at, it's amazing how many people come in and they're just totally lost. You're lost on what to eat, how to walk, how to exercise, what to wear, what to buy, how to shop, how to read the labels. And we educate them on simple things, and all of a sudden it makes sense. It's not complicated at all. It's just little lifestyle changes that we have to tweak. When we tweak these little lifestyle changes, it's amazing. It really is how simple. It's not complicated as not to change. The thing is that we must get away from our enablers, because those enablers can stop us from eating and change us from what we're eating to not being on the same game page as we're on. Enablers can destroy us. But let's think about it for a second. What do you eat? We've been told we can't have, the one myth I always hear, we can't have a baked potato. That's too much starch. That is not a bad starch to have. That baked potato actually can give you carbohydrates, give you a lot of energy, a lot of minerals and vitamins that your body need. And we'll get more into detail on that, why that potato is really good to you later. And then leafy green vegetables are one of my favorite that you can have. Beans, legumes, and grains. You can have this stuff. You know what? Everybody can't go raw like me, raw vegan. But you can go vegan, you can go healthy, you can go vegetarian, you can go it just depends on, let's change something. If I get you healthy, can show you how to be, then losing the weight is not really complicated at all, because once you understand how to become healthy and understanding food from a different perspective that you never saw or someone never really talked to you about before, because it's really not that complicated when you look at how do I change some things I'm going to do today. Well, we're going to change them simply. We're not going to make them complicated. We're going to do it in a way that you're going to say, oh, man, this is really easy. I just really thought I couldn't eat some of the basic foods. Who told you that? And why did they tell you couldn't have those foods? Because you know what? You can have them. The thing about it is how to prepare them. Teach you how to make them in 15 minutes, from your favorite dishes, and you can have a life. The thing about it, we deal with diabetes, we're dealing with so many different issues. And one thing about it is that food is a major component. And we've got a list of things that when we work with our clients and people on how to just change basic things that you just go to the store and you're like, I'm lost. Because it's kind of hard to go to the doctor because he don't know, or she don't really know what foods to tell you. And most nutritionists, as far as registered dietitians, they know to a point if you can find a good one. But the majority of them, what I find now, just me, is they're world taught. They're not really understanding food and nutrition. And what I like about myself is, and the people I deal with, I was a full-blood diabetic one time in my life. I took 2 insulin shots. I was on all kind of medication. I lost 150 pounds. I understand diabetes with all the education I've got, and raw and vegan and psychological and alternative medicine training that I have. It's about getting you well. Are you sick and tired being sick and tired? At the Chef Tim DeMoore Show, it's not about Tim, it's about you. They got so many diabetic drugs out here that they are pushing off every day to trying to give you a quick fix. Listen, there is no quick fix in reversing diabetes. There's not. There's a plant-based lifestyle, a vegan lifestyle, a raw lifestyle, and a changing what you're eating lifestyle. Then we got to incorporate exercise into that lifestyle, because you're not going to get away from exercise. You got to learn how to yoga and do meditation. You can't just assume diabetes is going to disappear, because guess what? It's not. Quit thinking it's, it's in a pill. It's in a drink. It's in something. Everybody got the slickest, newest thing on the market, help you overcome diabetes. Or you can have gastric bypass surgery, or you can have the lap band. You know what, folks? Before you have those two surgeries, you need to talk to somebody that's really had it. Yes, there's some great results with some of it, but in actuality, it's more worse than better. More people have more complicated out of it than those that haven't. So we got to make some changes. And how do we do it? Eating, learning about yourself. And the question I always ask is, do you just love who you are first? Because if you don't love who you are, the person that I'm talking to, if you can't look in the mirror and say, I love me, then we have a problem. Because it starts with you, nobody else but you. And we have to look at, how do I fix me? Well, we talked about it a couple of ways earlier, about yourself, about how we're going to fix some things. And it starts with the mind, and it starts with the food. And then, what do I shop? How do I buy groceries? But diabetes is affecting so many people right now. Just imagine how many people every day, over 1,500 people a day getting diabetes. Oh, man, it's unreal what's really going on with the death rate of diabetes. Just imagine, I'm reading the other day in the newspaper about New York City, just New York. Every 90 minutes, one person is dying from diabetes. So in your city and state, how many is dying from diabetes? But just imagine, that's a lot of diabetes, unnecessary diabetics. Unnecessary diabetes. We're keeping it real. You know what? They passing off everything, everybody. And I think the ones that are against you getting well are the ones really don't understand diabetes. And somebody said, well, I was born with it and I can't get rid of it because of what my doctor just told me. That's not actually true. You can get rid of diabetes. And if your doctor telling you can't get rid of diabetes, this is the one I love, it's hereditary. It's hereditary. Your daddy, your mama, your uncle, your granddaddy, your slave daddy, your slave mama gave it to you. Listen, people, there's some little heredity in certain things, but as far as diabetes, no. Hereditary for your baby blue eyes, yes. The look like you look on your face because you look like your parents, yes. Diabetes, no. Guess where it's coming from? Lifestyle choices, lifestyle. Type 1, lifestyle from a parent bringing the child on. Or if you got diabetes later in life, it's a lifestyle. Because if it was just some of the things that we're going to get immediately, it would be there automatic. It's not going to just surface. Diabetes, we got to change it now. We got to make these small, sensible changes today and quit letting people dictate what we're going through. Because I don't know if you're like me at one time. Maybe you was. You let somebody tell you about diabetes, and they didn't have diabetes. And you bought into it. It's almost like a relationship. Somebody's not dating anybody, married to nobody, have any kids, but we will let them tell us about our situation, and they have no clue. They don't know what it feels like to walk on eggshells. They don't know what it feels like to put an insulin shot in their stomach. They don't know what it feels like the eyes to be blurry and can't see when you wake up in the morning. They don't know how it feels to be nausea in the stomach from diabetes complications. They don't know what it really feels like to be a diabetic. So unless you are a diabetic or you're trying to prevent being a diabetic, we're trying to help you to get away from all of it. Because diabetes is one of those diseases that if we don't get a change, a hand on it, it's going to overtake everything that we're dealing with. And our children have no clue. So what are we going to do today? We're going to make some sensible changes in diabetes reversal. And you know what? Then there's another one. Number 4. Number four. What we're going to do about number 4? We're going to make some changes in your life today. And because a lot of times it is really complicated. And the number 4th one is, how do I understand the back of that label? It's what it says on the can, the box of the package. Is it really true, Chef? Is it really great? You know what? That's why I tell you, if you go to ChefTimothyMoore.com, go there right now and sign up for some of the recipes, get involved in my sessions that I give away and all the audio stuff that we do, and the Facebook and the Twitter at Chef Timothy Moore. Get involved in that. Because what's happening is we're giving you so little tidbits that you can do things to change your whole lifestyle. And we want to change it immediately because you know what? The labels are so misleading. Oh my goodness. When you look at the back of those labels and you're thinking that I got this under control, and it says on the front though, organic, fat-free, no sugar, no salt, no preservatives, no trans fat. Do you really and honestly believe that? Now, the only way you're going to really understand and believe that if you read the ingredients, and then also you got to adds common sense to that too. Because the way the Food and Drug Administration let them put things on the back of a package, it's kind of misleading because they can say something that's really not in it, but it is. Almost like if you see something say natural seasoning. Natural seasonings can have pork and beef in it. Now let me explain how they can get away with it. Trade secret, folks. Trade secrets. So if you do eat something and all of a sudden you can feel your body saying, hey, something's wrong with this meal I just ate, put it back on the shelf. Don't eat it. And you look at the back of the ingredients, it's got those words that don't make sense. Some of them words not even in the thesaurus because they're not words, they're made up. Put them back. Or if you can't figure it out, go to Google, go to Bing, go to one of the major websites, Chromium, and Google it and see what the word is. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to find out it's just something that you're not supposed to be eating, but it has been mislabeled, so you won't look it up or you don't understand the terminology. That's why in the legal world, something that can sound so normal to me and you can actually be a term that really is not what it sounds or appears to be. So it's good to understand what you're eating before you make some changes that you're going to regret down the road. You know, the Diabetic Chef Show, we talk about all kind of stuff because we don't want you taking all that medication for life. We want you to live. We want you to enjoy life. We want you to go out with your children, do things that you want to do. When was the last time you just went and had a good movie and enjoyed yourself, sitting back and relaxing? When was the last time you took a good walk in your neighborhood or the golf course or just in the swimming pool or walking around somewhere just to enjoy yourself? Now, it's beginning to get hot. So, use common sense. Don't overdo it. Don't exert yourself. Drink plenty of water. Because you know what? That's one thing that diabetics don't do. We don't drink enough water as we should because as somebody told me the other day, it don't taste good. What in the water has a taste? And if you're having a problem with water, go put some fruit in it or some lemon or something in it that's going to give it a little more taste to help you out. Then drink it and enjoy your crisp, cool glass of fruit water. That's what you want to call it. But, this diabetic thing is not as complicated as it appears. We got to make some things changes. We've got to do some stuff that's going to really, really just make it change. And I promise you, it's going to change if we do some things that we're supposed to do. Some true things that we should be doing with diabetes is controlling it. Now, I don't know how many of you guys use your blood sugar meter to make sure that your blood can check. Even though I was coming off diabetic medication, I still check my blood sugar. I learned what to eat. But the thing about it is you got to learn what to eat, learn how to exercise and meditate, and you got to learn how to shop. And that eating part is the part that gets us though, because I don't know what your breakfast is. I don't know if it's bacon and eggs. I don't know if it's pork. I don't know if it's beef. I don't know if it's salads. I don't know if it's chicken. What is your, send me an email to info@cheftimothymoore.com. Send me an email. Tell me what your eating habit is, what you'd like to change about what you're eating, because sensible plant-based eating, and which I incorporate, which is no animal products and no dairy, no oil, no salt, no sugar. It's amazing how with simple recipes that you can change some simple stuff and drop diabetes in about 14, 15 days, but in 30 days, you're a whole nother person. And it's amazing how you begin to live and your mind become unfogged by eating fresh fruits and vegetables. And then taking brisk walks every day. I don't mean because you walk up the stairs and down. That's not a brisk walk. A brisk walk is walking in your neighborhood, the golf course, a park, a mall, and just enjoying the scenery. You can put some iPods or something in your ear, or you can get somebody with you while you can talk and walk. But the thing about it is, it's getting that body out doing some things that it needs to do that we have neglected on doing. How complicated is it? It's really not complicated, because in today's world, if you don't get well and stay well, you're going to have a problem. They're pushing this Obamacare. They're getting rid of this Obamacare. Let me ask you, what about your care? That's what we're going to call it today, your care. How about getting involved with your care? Your care is you. Your care. How about you caring about yourself today? Let's start calling everybody. Tell everybody you know. We've got a new plan out, and it's called Your Care. Y-O-U-R, Your Care, C-A-R-E. Your Care has went in effect today. Your Care, you carry the best insurance card you ever have in your pocket because it's you caring for yourself, making the right, sensible dietary changes for your life. And once you do that, everything else takes care of itself. And it's not complicated at all. You know what? I'm already thinking about next week's show. Man, next week's show going to be so impact with stuff about weight loss and diabetes and high blood pressure. I mean, just imagine for a minute how all three of those things, weight loss, high blood pressure, and diabetes, how do they all go together? Do you know one controls the other to a point? Have you ever realized how diabetes and high blood pressure can go together? Or how high blood pressure and weight loss can go together? And how it all comes together and can affect your diabetes? Because I know it seems like it don't seem as bad as it appears, but we got to show you some sensible ways to reverse it. Some sensible ways to get rid of it. Now, I don't know about you, but I wanted to get rid of diabetes, and thank God I met somebody that could teach me back in the day about how to get rid of it. Do you want to get rid of diabetes? Are you sick and tired of being stuck with diabetes? I need you to pass this on to everybody you know. Get them involved in part of the Diabetic Reversing Show. Get them involved with Chef Timothy Moore's show. But like I said earlier, we're going to change the name of this show, the Diabetes Reversing Show. And it's about dealing with diabetics and how food and coaching can change everything about your life. Tell your friends that are dealing with diabetes about the show. Pass on the link. Let them know. This is something they need to subscribe to because we're going to take it to another level as far as getting diabetes under control, getting you well where you don't have to worry about diabetes controlling you ever again. How would you feel about that? Well, guess what? We got the components, how to change, how to make some sensible lifestyle changes. Then we got to understand how to make a meal plan. Oh, that's the one that I get the most hits on. Okay, how do I make a meal plan? What is a meal plan? You keep tuning in, and I will go to ChefTimothyMoore.com. Get some of the free recipes, but info at ChefTimothyMoore.com. Say, hey, how do I make a meal plan? And I'm going to send you a link to a video that we've got that talks about how to start a diabetic meal plan, understanding the basics to making a diabetic meal plan, which is not complicated. Hey, this is a chef show. We keep it live and keep it real. And it's about you, the listener. It's about you, your children, your family, overcoming diabetes and living and having a great life. But remember about next week's show. Remember, we're going to come back with this and obesity or overweight, diabetes and high blood pressure, how they actually interact and in a lot of cases can cause a stroke. Oh, they can cause a stroke, Chef. Yeah. You know what? You got to keep listening because just a weight loss, obesity, high blood pressure, and weight control, and all these go together with high blood pressure, and they can cause havoc on your life today. Hey, this is Chef Tim with the Chef Timothy Moore. We're going to keep it real. But remember, next week, high blood pressure, weight loss, and diabetes. How to control all three of them. That they don't give you a stroke or any kind of problem. And how to diabetic-proof yourself or reverse them diabetes you got. How about in 15 days or less or 30 days? I'm saying that because everybody's different. But what if you could reverse your diabetes in 19 days? What if you can reverse your diabetes in 30 days? You know what? I've seen it done millions of times. A lot of people have done it. Do you want to do it? Let me ask you, would you like to reverse diabetes now? If your answer is yes, let's get work today. Hey, this is Chef Tim. It's been real. Pass this on to all your friends on the Chef Timothy Moore on the Diabetic Show. Hey, we're going to keep this thing real. We're going to have it where it's nothing but fun. We're going to bring you things that you never thought about. We're going to bring it to you in ways that you've never looked at it. Because all them people that are telling you that you got to be a diabetic forever is telling you a story. That is not true. It's not in the genes. It's not hereditary. Let's change our intake of food. 100 million plus people dealing with pre and diabetes today. 100 million. Something's wrong with the picture and it's getting worse. And our children, our future leaders of the world are all getting diabetes. We got to make a change. Hey, this is Chef Tim. We're just keeping it live. Looking forward to next week's show.